you come to Fujian, do go to Quanzhou to enjoy a Nanyin performance and feel the unique charm of the millennium-old music. By the way, as one of the starting points of the maritime Silk Road, Quanzhou was just inscribed to the World Cultural Heritage last year. So it has many cultural treasures to offer. Wow, now I see a paper cutting of Fu characters on the walls, and I think it contains a lot of patterns of flowers, birds, and bamboo. That's amazing. So you must be familiar with the work displayed here. Paper cutting is a traditional Chinese art, and they are pasted on many occasions during the Spring Festival to create a festive atmosphere. And Fujian's paper cutting has its distinctive patterns featuring with mountains and seas. The work we see now are created by 3 different craftsmen from 3 different regions. And we can see that the artists from the coastal area prefer to the marine elements, such as aquatic animals and ships and boats, and they are forming a more delicate styles. And here, the artists from the mountainous areas prefer to use the elements of farm animals and mountain animals, so their work are less exquisite. Thank you. Wow. 老师，咱们现在是在剪什么作品啊？3位老师好。
你好。我们3个人合作就是为这一次祝福北京冬奥的作品主题作品创作的。
作品名称是《五湖临盟》。
作品的内容是5个冬奥会的吉祥物冰墩墩抱着5个福字，因为福文化是我们福建的特色文化，在这里我们把祝福送给全世界的朋友们，并为冬奥健儿加油！
加油！非常的棒。So the 3 inheritors of Fujian paper cutting is working hard, and they are prepare paper cuttings with the mascot of these Olympic Games, Bing Dun Dun, and wishing to send you their New Year blessings and cheer the athlete up through their works. So what will their paper cutting looks like? Let's wait and see. All right, in this exhibition room, there are a lot of works of art. And now I would like to introduce this lacquer thread sculpture to you guys. You know, 2022 is the year of the tiger, so the artists create a sculpture of General Tiger. Have you noticed the glittering fine art in his armor? A traditional technique of lacquer thread sculpture was adopted to make them. Mix the natural lacquer with some golden powder, and then decorate it with patterns by the unique technique of piling and folding. The work looks lifelike. How magical. You know, also from the southern China, there is another kind of handicraft with greater visibility, which is Dehua white porcelain. When Dehua white porcelain was sold to Europe hundreds of years old, the French called it Chinese white and regarded it as the top grade of Chinese porcelain. So the Dehua white porcelain was most known for porcelain sculptures, and most of them are decorative with patterns of figures and flowers. The porcelain body was molded by skilled craftsmen, so it's so thin that it even permits the passage of light. And this set of flower porcelain sculpture is a vivid testimony to this fine art. Well, now we have come to the last section of the exhibition hall of Fujian culture. The craftsman is making an oil paper umbrella. Wow. So you know what? In Chinese, the pronunciation of the oil paper 油纸 is similar to having children 游子. So in a traditional Fuzhou wedding, the bride needs to walk under an oil paper umbrella, meaning more children and more happiness. Doesn't it sound romantic and interesting? 师傅，老师您好。
你好。
咱们现在这个是伞骨，您是正在做伞骨对吗？
我们的伞骨已经做好了，然后我现在在做的是一个烙线的过程。烙线的过程，我们可以看到这些伞骨，现在的间距、大小都是不一样的。
对。
然后呢，我们做好的伞和大小是一样的间距，然后我们就用这个绳子把它均等分开之外，还有起到一个作用，就是我们这个伞上面，这里面是有绳子，可以起到一个保护的作用，缓冲。
All right.
这样子使伞更经用。
Okay, so the inheritor says he is using a thread to tie up the whole ribs of the oil paper umbrella to make sure each part of it remain the same size and distance. And the ribs of the oil paper umbrella is made up of bamboo components, and the canopy of the umbrella is a kind of cotton paper which produced only in Fujian province. And the Chun oil is brushed on the canopy for waterproofness. The whole making process consists of more than 80 steps. And fragile as the umbrella is, it is said that it can survive 1,000 times of opening and closing. That is very amazing. 谢谢老师, thank you. So, you know, the oil paper umbrella is rarely used in our daily life now. And young people prefer to use it as a prop to show the classical Chinese style. So posting a picture of you wearing a Chinese costume and holding an oil paper umbrella will win you many likes. Okay, that's all for the oil paper umbrella. Let's see if our friends from the media have any questions. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hi. Hi. All right. We got the first question. They ask, what makes the oil paper umbrella waterproof? Well, it is an interesting question. So, as I mentioned before, the surface of the oil paper umbrella is coated with Chun oil. Chun oil is a kind of natural vegetable oil and forming an impermeable layers after drying. And also during the brushing process, the Chun oil will fill all the holes in the paper so that the umbrella is watertight. Okay.
好，主持人你好。
你好。
能听见我说话吧？
也可以。
这边有一位北京日报的记者想提问。
OK， 您好。您好。
你好，那个我想问一下，我对你这个油纸伞啊有兴趣，我想请你问一下这师傅做这么一个油纸，要多长时间？
要多长？
成本是多少
？OK。
然后现在说我们去福建、去福州去玩的时候，买这一把这个油纸伞，传统的这个技艺的，大概多少钱一个
？Okay, so you ask, how long will it takes to making an oil paper umbrella, and how much for it, right? If you're visiting in Fuzhou.
这样的油纸伞。
Okay, 让我来帮你问一下咱们的老师哈。老师您好，就是咱们的记者朋友啊问，就是做这样一把油纸伞，它的成本大概是多少呀？
成本的话，我们大概就是因为它手工制作的，成本大概一把伞制作下来，前后就是材料加上工人工资的话，大概是在大几十块钱。
Like 就是100元以下，
对
吗？
对对，100元以下。
And 还有一个问题就是做这样一把油纸伞大概要多少的时间？多长时间？就是完成一把。
完成一把，我们就是这叫制作工期。它从竹子到我们的所谓的成品，它需要有30多天的时间。那100把它也是30多天，它是一个时间需要等待的过程。因为我们用的桐油，它是要等到它自然阴干，没办法说烘干啊。
OK， 那如果说有游客来到福建的话，他们要从什么地方可以买到这个油纸伞？
可以在我们福州的这个三坊七巷。
三坊七巷就可以买到，是吗？
对。
Okay, the inheritor says it took about a month to make an oil paper umbrella, and you know it is all made by handcraft, so it is. One oil paper umbrella is under 100 yuan in China. And if you come to Fujian, Fuzhou, do go to the 3 Lanes and 7 Alleys. There have a lot of oil paper umbrellas to offer to you guys. 谢谢老师 Thank you. 谢谢老师 Thank you. All right, if there is no more questions, that's all for the oil paper umbrella. And now my colleague Guan Rui is in a nearby garden. A spring tea party is being held there. Now let's invite her to introduce the rich, splendid tea culture of Fujian to you guys. Let's go.
As the Spring Festival passes, a new year of diligent working unfolds. What can we do to create a revel of spring? For Fujian people, tea is the first choice. As the Chinese saying goes, the whole year's work depends on a good start in spring. When spring arrives, it is refreshing to taste good tea with your friends, renew friendship, and talk about New Year resolutions. To be more prepared for the coming year secures better results. Do you hear the beautiful sound of zither? Actually, in this garden with a history of more than 200 years, a tea party is held today to welcome the spring. I'm in for a treat. Excuse me, what are you drinking?
福州茉莉花茶。
福州 Jasmine tea.
Ah, may I have a cup of jasmine tea?
Of course.
Thank you. Actually, jasmine tea is the best fit for greeting the spring. It is said that drinking jasmine tea in the cold wind brings you the smell of spring. Refreshing. I really hope to share with you such a refreshing aroma of spring. Jasmine is the city flower of Fuzhou. Over 1,000 years ago, Fuzhou people began to make jasmine tea. Flower buds are mixed into green tea so that the scent of jasmine slowly permeates tea leaves. Repeating the process for many times, a perfect integration of the fragrance of flower and that of tea will be achieved. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
A quality jasmine tea is not only a masterpiece created by the scenery of time, patience, and exquisite craftsmanship, but also the best gift of nature. Actually, the magic of nature has a part to play during the making process of all tea varieties. Factors that may affect the quality of tea leaves include the climate, environment in which the plants grow, the weather and temperature during the making process, as well as the competence of craftsmen. Walking along the path, the tea house in front of us is themed on Oolong tea. I'm very proud to tell you that Fujian is the cradle of Oolong tea, and about 80% of Oolong tea in the world is produced by Fujian alone. Today, we are getting to know the most famous brands, Anxi Tieguanyin and Wuyi Rock Tea. Hi, 你们好。
Hi, welcome.
Now let's start with Anxi Tieguanyin. Growing in large mountains and breathing the freshest air, Anxi Tieguanyin benefits from the good ecology of Fujian province. Tieguanyin has a rich orchid fragrance, so there is a very important step during tasting Tieguanyin. It's called fragrance sampling. Would you please teach me how to do this fragrance sampling?
Sure. So first, we can try to smell the fragrance of the dry tea. So please have a try.
Thank you.
And when you smell the dry tea, you can feel that there's a quiet orchid aroma.
Fragrance of orchid from the dry tea, that's the first step.
Yes. So for the second steps, please have a try. So for the second steps, you can use the 100 boiling water and inject to the brewing cup. And after that, you can make the tea leaves wake up and make the fragrance of the tea soup coming out.
Oh, may I?
Sure, please have a try. And when you taste it, you can feel that there's
the second step is
smell and taste it.
Smelling
the tea soup. Yes, and you can feel that there's a very strong orchid aroma.
As a second step, it's stronger than the fragrance of dry tea.
Yes. Yeah, so after you tasting it, you can smell the bottom of the teacup.
I get it. The brew of Tieguanyin leaves a distinctive orchid aroma in the cup that's really lighting up my mood.
Yes.
Actually, the aroma of top-grade Tieguanyin stays even after being brewed for 7 times. I guess you are a big fan of tea. How do you think about the Tieguanyin we are drinking? 你觉得我们现在正喝的这个铁观音怎么样？
我觉得它味道很香，就是很顶级的茶哦。
Oh, she says the Tieguanyin we are drinking is top grade. Wow. Anxi, the major production base of Tieguanyin, is the largest tea-producing county in China. Last year, the brand value of Anxi Tieguanyin exceeded over 140 billion yuan, ranking the first place for 6 consecutive years. Thank you. Now let's take a look at Wuyi Rock Tea, which is also a kind of Oolong tea with great popularity. 你好. Its major producing area, Wuyi Mountains, has a great number of rocks and mountains. Tea leaves from the trees growing between rocks are believed to have the best quality. This is how the rock tea got its name. I have a question. Wuyi Rock Tea is Oolong tea. Anxi Tieguanyin also a kind of Oolong tea. What's the difference between them?
I think Anxi Tieguanyin like a girl, and Wuyi Rock Tea like a man.
Why?
Wuyi Rock Tea, rock bark and flowers, so it's manly, stronger and more powerful.
Oh, let me taste it.
You can taste.
Its special growth conditions and the techniques of charcoal roasting resulting in its strong mellowness. So if you taste it for the first time, you might find it slightly bitter. But after you swallowing it, you will feel a kind of aftertaste of sweetness lingers in your throat and your body becomes warm. That's really wonderful experience. Yeah, I like it too.
它这种就厚重感很强。
It's strong.
哎，对对对。
Yeah. So, I suppose that's one of the reasons why Fujian people like drinking rock tea during the winter time.
它这个底蕴很足。
是是是。
The aftertaste.
非常香，好喝。
Nice. Thank you.
慢点啊。
Now, when it comes to winter teas, black tea seems to be a joy for many. It's very familiar to many of us. Wuji Mountains in Fujian province is the cradle of Lapsang Chun, the original black tea. As the first Chinese tea introduced to Europe, Lapsang Chun soon gained its popularity in the British royal family and across Europe, leading to a still trendy ritual of afternoon tea. Even though it is morning time, we can still sit down and have an elegant black tea break. May I?
It's lemon black tea. Have a try.
Thank you.
Would you like some osmosis in the tea?
Osmosis, sure,
Yeah.
please. It's warm, a little bit sweet, with a fragrance of osmosis. Actually, black tea blends very well with many ingredients, such as milk or lemon. This time we added some osmosis. It's really generating a rich flavor and enchanting fragrance. There is a fun fact. The name of black tea comes from the color of black tea leaves, but actually in Chinese it is called white tea because of its bright red-colored brew. This red-colored brew really makes me feel warmer, especially in this chilly season. I like it. Thank you. Now let's find out more. Fujian tea production dates back to over 1,600 years ago. As early as the Song Dynasty over 900 years ago, Fujian teas began to serve as imperial drinks. Now, Fujian teas drink the first place in China, both in quality and variety, generating output worth about 150 billion yuan per year. As we mentioned today, Fujian jasmine tea, black tea, oolong tea, as well as white tea are all household names. Speaking of white tea, we are in the white tea tasting zone. Wow, it's so funny. A Marionette is serving tea. Hi. Hi, 你们好。You see, the strings of the performer's hands allow the puppet work smoothly. When the performer crooking and lifting her fingers, the puppet functions with such precision. She's pouring boiling water. Wow, so precisely. She's using the thumb to cover the teapot. now she's pouring the tea soup. So precisely, even no one drop of water spilled. Thank you, may I?
我来喝一杯哈。
Thank you, Miss Puppet. Thank you, 飞焕。It's a cup of white tea. White tea is regarded as the most natural tea in China. Fresh, tender leaves are picked for weathering under the sunlight, so as to retain most of the nutrients. Locals say that the more aged white tea is, the more valuable it becomes. Because they think it lowers blood pressure, blood lipid, and blood sugar. Does it sound too good to be true? Give it a try by yourself. 你们好。Now, at this point, let's check whether there is any question from our media friends or online viewers. Hello.
Hello.
I can hear you.
我们这边有一个记者要问您一些问题。
Hello, thank you for your really interesting presentation about the porcelain.
Thank you.
I want to ask whether the people we see in the video are living there or are actors and actresses.
They are not actors or actresses. They are take part in the party here. They are normal people in the city of Fuzhou. Because we are holding the tea party today, so it attracted some people here. Most of them are fans of tea.
Another question from another journalist.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm curious about the different ways that you prepared during the presentation. Like the Oolong tea had a wider glass and tiny little glasses, and another one had different serving methods. I'm curious about the different methods being served.
Sorry. Would you? I beg your pardon about the question. Is the difference of? The different of the way. Yes, we have different ways to serve different kinds of teas. For example, about teacups. You know, teacups with various materials or colors fit different kinds of teas. For example, we use glasses for Jasmine tea or white china for Anxi Tieguanyin, as you have seen today. You know, a suitable teacup may reflect the most features of a particular tea. So for many tea fans, they comply to a set of rules about teacups and the ways of serving teas. But as for me, it would be a very great experience to enjoy tea itself. So no matter what kinds of way I serve tea or no matter what kinds of teacup I have, I really like drinking tea. Thank you. So, yeah. Excuse me, would you please louder, please?
My question isn't about tea, it's about Fuzhou. So I am from Singapore and Malaysia, but my ancestors are from Fuzhou.
Fujian. Oh.
Yes, yeah. So I'm just wondering, do a lot of people still speak, or do most people still speak Cantonese or Hokkien, in addition to Mandarin right now?
Actually, in Fujian province, there are different kinds of dialects here, including Fuzhou dialect and the dialect in the Quanzhou, the city of Xiamen. You know, we have different kinds of dialects here. Local people often speak those dialects here, both speaking local dialects and Mandarin. Bilingual. Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you so much. There is no more question here. Now, my colleague Xuanhan is in a particular place for showcasing a great exercise. Let's back to Xuanhan. Xuanhan, back to you. To be inspired, and now it is a public sports ground. We can see that there are many people learning Wing Chun from the masters. Let's go check it out. Alright, Wing Chun is originated in Fujian and became popular in Guangdong, and then spread to over 100 countries and regions through Hong Kong. Chinese super kung fu stars Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan is well-known representative of Wing Chun, and Wing Chun requires Chinese to stay focused, calm, cool-headed despite all challenges. And there are many young learners, even children, are practicing Wing Chun to build up their body, toughen their will instead of just flexing their muscles. So we in Fujian often say that hard work pays off, but it is impossible to keep this enterprising spirit up without good health. So together, let's exercise for a better shared future. 老师您好。好。主持人好。很好，给观众打个招呼吧。哦，好， 大家好。大家好。So 我们开始吧 ，Let's get started. Okay. 教练圈的抱拳礼。All right. 一般正常是左掌。The left hand and your right hand. 跟月。Okay. 代表明。
代表彼此的尊重。
Okay. So the left hand means the moon, and the red one means the sun.
日跟月代表正大光明。
Okay, so they combine together.
Yeah.
Okay.
那么我们接下来学动作。
OK
OK， 看，好，后顶走，屈膝，好，手腋下，好
OK
交叉。
Slower, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
拳目
Okay.
后顶走，
Yeah.
上拳，
画，
弹手 ，OK， 跳起，手势。
Yeah. Thank you.
刚才日冲拳在movie 当中经常出现。
Okay. The master says it is a movement that we can often see in the movies, especially in Bruce Lee's, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
包括小萝卜的堂里也是拍电影圈的。
All right. Thank you. 谢谢老师。
OK。
Thank you.
那么远春还有一些适当的用法，比如说这个叫前分手。
All right.
三尖相对，我们的笔尖、指尖夹抢移。
So there
就像我们瞄枪3点一线。
Okay, like you are shooting a
面对
gun.
我
Okay.
Look， 前后脚，面对我呀，你就可以进攻过来，我过来，对，过来。
Oh my god!
对，
It's so
它是
hard
围绕
for
着
me.
中线展开。
Okay.
所以咏春拳它是最短距离、最快速度、最成力量，包括李小龙最喜欢的这个。
Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
often see
yeah.
that in the movies, right? So the master says the Wing Chun is focused on to beat the opponents as soon as possible. In that way, we can minimize the damage for both of sides.
所以咏
Okay.
春在西方，包括军警、特种部队都非常的喜欢。
Yeah, it's a very famous and popular sports
Yeah.
for all of the world.
Hello, hello.
Hi, thank you, 谢谢老师。
OK.
Hello.
Hi.
Wow, it's so cute.
Yeah. You see, the artists have brought us their paper cutting work.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Extending the wishes of safety, health, and good fortune. We welcome all of you to Fujian for an in-person experience of the diverse food culture here.
Also, so the journey of the food culture is coming to a close. So at the end of today's live streaming, let's see if our friends from the media have any questions.
Yeah, let's check whether there is any question
you.
from our media friends.
Okay, we got the first one. They say, how many forms are there in Wing Chun? I think I can answer this one, right? Because I asked the master before, they say, the Wing Chun has 3 basic movements or forms, and they're beginner level, intermediate level, and advanced level. And each of them contains many movements inside. So if you are really interested about Wing Chun, welcome to Fujian to find a master to learn more about it. So now we got the second one.
The second question. Would you please recommend some local delicacies in Fujian?
Okay.
Oh, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
Chinese food really attracts people from all over the world. In Fujian, you also have plenty of choices here. For example, if you come to Fuzhou Fish Bowl, I recommend you put Fuzhou Fish Bowl on your list of must eat. It's a kind of a food with a history of more than 100 years.
Yeah.
It's made of fish and meat in a traditional way. Have a try. It's very delicious. If you come to the city of Xiamen, why not buy some Xiamen sweet cakes? It's really a match for afternoon tea. So bring some Xiamen sweet cakes as a gift for your families or friends.
Yeah. So, are there any more questions? Hello.
Is there any?
Yeah. Yeah.
I see the Shoushan. It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
How much? If I want to buy how much?
Well,
How much money I should pay for it?
the journalist asked how much we can buy a Shoushan stone seals.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is it expensive?
I think it's very expensive.
I guess the price ranging from low price to higher price.
With the different kinds, between the different kinds of it, and different materials.
That depends on the stone, the skills of carving,
Because they are all made by
and
hand.
the competence of the craftsman.
Yeah, so the hide is very expensive.
Yeah.
And if maybe, in my opinion, if you bought a cheap one, maybe it's fake or so do go to Fujian to discover more of Shoushan stone.
Discover more
Yeah.
for your in-person experience in Fujian.
Okay.
Any other friends have questions?
So if
I think they don't have questions now.
there are no more questions here.
No more questions
Thank you.
here. And so, at the end
Thank you
of
so
the live
much.
streaming, we warmly welcome all of you to Fujian for an experience of our colorful food culture.
Yeah.
Now let's say it again.
Welcome to Fujian.
好，
各
大吉
位。同学们，我们大家一起向世界发出邀请，好不好？
好。
3、2、1 ，Welcome to 福建！
欢迎来福建。
欢迎来福建 ，Welcome to 福建！
世界越爱越精彩，雪花纷飞，迫不及待入怀。Fly to the sky， 天地洁白，一片片存在。未来越爱越期待，哦，晴空心花怒放表白。Fly to the sky， 万丈彩虹一重重盛开。我们都需要爱，大家把手都牵起来。Together for sharing future， 一起来，一起向未来。我们都拥有爱，来把所有门全都敞开。Together for sharing future。